Hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. You all seemed to enjoy when I did a video on the most popular Korean beauty toners. Well, I decided let's go ahead and do the same theme, but this time with K-beauty cleansers. As always, timestamps and links are in the description box below if you would like to get a sneak peek for what's going on in today's video. But before we go further, I do want to make sure to explain kind of how I picked these. As I mentioned in the toners video, I've really gotten into the Hwahae app. I'm so happy to hear I am pronouncing that correctly. In case you're unfamiliar with this app, it is a fully in Korean app that ranks the most popular trending products in Korea. It is very interesting as an American and YouTuber to see that it is pretty different from what's popular over here in the US and on YouTube, but I guess it does make sense. Spoiler for this video, the #1 cleanser right now on Hwahae is this one right here from Torridon, our brand of the month. So I'm going to save my thoughts. You're going to see my thoughts on this brand very soon, either this week or next. The most popular gel cleanser in Korea right now is the Torridon Balancing Gel Cleanser. It's so interesting. This is apparently a very popular brand in Korea right now. And another big thing that's been so interesting in looking at what's actually popular in Korea is that the way they divide products is a little different. Whereas as a Westerner who has a dry skin type, I think a lot about the category of cream and milk cleansers. It's all grouped together on Hwahae with cleansing balms. I would not have expected that. So I'm going to do my best to explain all of that in today's video. I am, of course, only going to be talking about the products that I'm familiar with. It wouldn't be very helpful if I guess at Inkies. And speaking of ingredients, in this video, I of course will show you the ingredients, but I got to thinking about how I really should be highlighting the surfactants when talking about cleansers. One more thing, and then I promise we'll get started. I want to say, as somebody who has really been into skincare for a long time, I find it interesting that there's two categories that I believe to be very skin type dependent, as opposed to skin concern. For example, skin concern, if you're treating acne, for example, you really want to pay attention to your serums, your toners, etc. Skin type, meaning dry, oily combo, that's going to matter a lot in choosing your moisturizer and, you guessed it, your cleanser. Keep in mind that applies with second cleanser or one-step cleansing, not so much with cleansing oils and cleansing balms. Okay, are you ready to get into this video? I do have it divided into categories, so I'm going to start with the most popular cleansing balm. This one is currently #3 on Hwahae's cleansing lotion and cream section, which shocked me because it's been around for so long. It's popular on YouTube. It's popular on the Ulta website. In short, I feel like this one is very well deserved. And it is Vanilla's Clean It Zero. I feel like this one is so hard to hate. I genuinely feel this is a product where I think most people would try this and go, yeah, you know, that worked well. It removed all my makeup. It removed all my sunscreen. It was enjoyable to use. It has a very smooth appearance to it. I find some cleansing balms kind of look a little more like Vaseline. This one is more smooth. Once you get it into your hands, it immediately melts into this kind of oily texture. It feels lightweight. It removes makeup and sunscreen, and it does not leave a film behind, which I guess some people are okay with that. For me, that's a deal breaker. No film left behind. Now note this one does contain some fragrance, which I do recognize means not every person will be able to use it, but it is very light, and for what it's worth, it keeps the product smelling quite nice. I'd say it's almost a rose floral scent, but even I don't mind it, and I don't particularly like rose scents. It's light enough that it's inoffensive, and yeah, I guess when it comes to fully fragrance-free skincare, I do feel like some amount of people might be surprised by how stinky that can actually be. Yeah, that can that can smell bad. Which I guess is to say, while many of us do want fully fragrance-free skincare, I think that if you really got into the general population and you said, hey, do you want to use skincare that smells faintly of roses or strongly of hot dogs soaking in water? I feel like most people would choose the rose. Yeah, I feel like that. Looking a little more at the ingredients, it's always hard for me to highlight the plant extracts in a cleanser because I feel like we don't know how much those are absorbing into your skin when you are intentionally removing that product with water, but nonetheless, there are a lot of anti-inflammatory ingredients in here. And maybe that does add to the effect with this. There's also a lot of different varieties of this. You know, I've still never tried any of the other varieties, just the original, and yet, yeah, I agree with the hype on this. It's a crowd pleaser, it's easily accessible. Again, this is a product that is not only available at all of your major Korean beauty retailers, but it's right here in the US. You can walk into Ulta and buy this product. So I fully get the hype. I think it is well deserved. Is it my absolute favorite cleansing balm? I don't know. I feel like I may not actually have a favorite cleansing balm. I think there's a lot that get the job done, but I would say it's a great option. Let's move on to our next category, foaming cleanser, and this one, I don't feel surprised by this either. This is currently number 4 on Hwahae, and again, it's also been around for a while, the Round Lab 1025 Dokdu Cleanser. Now, really quickly, I want to say, this category of foaming cleanser, this is meant for oily to combination skin. So, in all truth, this is just not going to be my favorite category, but I will say, I'm still very pleasantly surprised with the fact that I can use this. It isn't optimal for me with my dry skin type to fully switch to a foaming cleanser, but I still can use this and I still can appreciate it for what it is. And I have to say, something really nice about this, again, it's a product where a very small amount goes a long way. I've talked before about how I prefer to take my cleanser, a tiny amount of it into my hand, add a bit of water, foam it up, and this one foams up quite a bit, and then apply it to my skin. The thing about this is there really is something about the texture in this. It's almost a kind of bouncy texture. It feels really fun to use. And after using it, even me with my dry skin, it doesn't feel too stripping if I use it sporadically. My skin feels thoroughly cleansed, but not dried out. The ingredients list contains humectants, it contains amino acids for hydration, and it does include some conditioning agents to help with your skin feeling soft afterwards. I will say I've always, again, felt torn about the concept of a hydrating cleanser. I've really been thinking about this, and I hope I can successfully put this into words. I feel like you can't really use a cleanser and feel extra hydration afterwards because that's just in contrast to what cleansers do. They remove things from your skin. But I've been thinking about it, and I feel a cleanser can be hydrating while you use it. And that is what I feel. So I don't feel any cleanser really leaves your skin hydrated, but the experience can be hydrating, and this one is. So again, not the right choice for dry skin types on an everyday basis, but you may really enjoy this if you do have combination to oily skin. That is absolutely who I think the entire line is made for. Soybean line. That's more for us with dry skin. But yeah, this is another one where I do get the hype with this. I get the hype even though it doesn't personally apply to me. They did a great job on it, and that texture is fun. Let's move on to the gel cleansers category with a bit of a confession. I found this confusing on the Hwahae app. Confusing in that, again, this is at the top, but I did not recognize so many of these cleansers. So I kept scrolling on Hwahae's list, and I finally found one that I do in fact know. At number 24, it's so funny because I feel this one actually is popular on YouTube. This one is actually popular at Ulta. Yes, the COSRX Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser. This is really lending more credence to that theory that COSRX might be more popular online than actually in Korea. Maybe. Honestly, this one is a little bit confusing for me because in general, what I would say is I feel like foaming cleansers are the category for oily and combo skin. Gel cleansers kind of fall more in the middle, more so for combo skin, but I think dry skin can sometimes use those. I have some gel cleansers that I really like. In fact, speaking of Ulta, I really like Good Molecules Rose Water Cleansing Gel. This one actually feels, in all truth, a little more stripping to me than the foam cleanser we just talked about. It feels a lot more harsh than I would have expected. And here's the thing. This one, of course, it's in the name, it's a low pH cleanser. And there really was a time where that was revolutionary. If you are a fellow millennial, you may remember that all of our cleansers were alkaline. We didn't really use a lot of low pH cleansers, and it was unfortunate because it turns out most of us do better with a low pH cleanser. Again, we're talking about the pH scale, we're talking about acidity versus alkaline products. Here. Alkaline meaning basic, like baking soda. You basic. I like to put my baking soda in its place on the pH scale. But I do think what it comes down to is that choosing the right cleanser isn't just about the pH, it's also about the strength of the surfactants. How stripping do they feel on your skin? It's about the full formula, of course. And I guess that is what surprises me about this because, first of all, wow, this has a strong tea tree smell. That is an essential oil, although it kind of sits in a weird place in a lot of people's minds, self-included. I do like it because it is a very strong antibacterial ingredient, antimicrobial ingredient, so it can be very helpful for people that do deal with acne. But I don't know if everyone likes the smell. I feel like I don't mind it, but even for me, it was strong in this product. To me, this smells very strong. It is a gel cleanser. It does foam, less so than the Dokdo cleanser and most foaming cleansers, but it does foam up. It's fine to use, but I'm just really glad I have the mini of this because, again, for me, this feels pretty stripping pretty quickly. I do respect that it's affordable. Even on the Ulta website, it's only $14 for the full size of this. So I guess in the end, I would say it's fine. And I'm sorry, but this is always how I feel about fine skincare. I don't want fine. There's a sea of skincare out there, and I want greatness. You know, fine is acceptable in my cooking, but in my skincare, I want greatness. So ultimately, this is probably my least favorite cleanser in this whole video. Again, I don't hate it. I just don't feel like it's worth the hype of YouTube. And again, it's interesting to see that it is all the way at number 24 on Huawei. Maybe I should try some of those brands I haven't recognized on Huawei. Maybe Korean folks are onto something with finding better gel cleansers. Let's move on to this dry skin type's personal favorite category, cream and milk cleansers. Again, as I said in the intro, it was odd how this is grouped on the Huawei app. I really get the feeling that milk and cream cleansers aren't as popular in Korea, and that makes so much sense because I have had a very hard time finding cream and milk cleansers from kbeauty. But a brand very recently came through with a very lovely cleanser for dry skin, and it is currently in the number 12 spot on the Huawei app, and that is the Eccentree Yam Root Vegan Milk Cleanser. This product I received in PR, I actually think from Yesstyle and Stylevana. I noticed I have two of these and I'm not upset about it. Back when I first started using this, I noticed something immediately with this that was just so different from every other cleanser I've ever tried. This feels exactly like you're washing your face with a moisturizer. It feels exactly like that, down to the fact that if you apply this to dry skin, you can almost feel it absorb into your skin. It's just not something I've ever experienced with the cleanser before. I will say with this one, I prefer to make sure that my face is damp before I use this. That seems to help with the oddness of that feeling. It doesn't feel like it absorbs into your skin. I don't know, it's something that it's almost hard for my brain to get past how unusual that is in a cleanser. So again, if I have an already damp face and wash my skin with this, oh my goodness, it is so gentle. And then when you rinse this off, your skin feels so far from stripped. Again, I don't think that this is optimal for oily to combo skin. It might not remove sebum oils from your skin, but for a person with dry skin, my skin feels so comfortable after using this. And when we look at the ingredients list, this all makes sense. It has a lot of emollient ingredients in it. Obviously rich in that hydrating yam ingredient. Again, to reiterate, I don't think that it really hydrates your skin, but I think it is a very, very hydrating cleanser while you're cleansing. Really curious to hear some comments on if any of you get where my brain is with all of this. Long story short with this one, I absolutely love it. I am completely perplexed at the lack of this category in K-beauty, but Ecentree came through in this category, and they did it so well. And let's end this video with the category of cleansing oils. Now to clarify, the difference between a cleansing balm and a cleansing oil, in my mind, I feel like cleansing balms are a little more of a ritual. It does take a little longer to use them, but sometimes it's ideal for removing all of your makeup, just kind of the way it sits on your skin. Cleansing oils, I find to be a little bit faster. I think you might prefer these if you're just removing sunscreen. They do work for makeup as well, but I do find that I'm picky with the cleansing oils that I use for makeup removal. So let's get this popular K-beauty cleansing oil out of the way. Number 3 on the Huahei app, and one that I do agree with the hype on, is Manyo's Pure Cleansing Oil. Like I said, I feel that some of these cleansing oils are ideal for makeup removal, and this is one of them because it has a little bit more of a consistency to it, more viscosity to it, so that it feels a little bit heavier on your skin, but that is ideal for removing mascara. I feel like removing eye makeup with a cleansing oil can get tricky if that cleansing oil just runs away from your eyes. Whereas this one has more body to it, so you can actually work it into your eyelashes. I'm going to use the clips from when I worked with Manyo because I so perfectly captured the emulsification process, which is where you add water and you see the product turn into this kind of milky white texture that you can massage all over your skin and remove all of your makeup and your sunscreen. And the entire time you're using this, it also smells so nice. It's a light, pleasant scent from the essential oils that it contains. Again, this means it won't be for everybody, but a lot of people, most people, can use those ingredients, especially in the cleansing step. And again, I think it adds to the experience. So what's really happened for me with this cleansing oil is I feel like this could be a good cleansing oil to use for base comparisons. The cleansing oil to which all the others are compared, which is to say, I think this one does deserve the hype. I do feel like the ingredients list is kind of funny on this because I just felt like I was highlighting just about everything on it. And again, we don't really know if this is giving your skin that much more or if it's just contributing to the experience while you use the product. But again, that's where it's winning for me, the experience of using the product. So again, while it won't be for everybody, I do think it's another crowd pleaser, so to speak, and again, I do understand the hype. And my friends, that brings us to the end of the most popular K-beauty cleansers. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I do kind of feel like I might have been hard on this one, so feel free to share your thoughts. Feel free to have a differing opinion. I welcome that, of course. And if you are enjoying this series, make sure to let me know if you would like to see me do some other categories. Feel free to drop those thoughts. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.